not the feet, the waist.
Hey guys.
Yes.
Okay, so can you present yourself so that my viewers can identify everybody here?
My name is Kevork Mourad. I'm Armenian from Aleppo.
Okay.
And I've been doing live drawing since 1997. I met my dear friend Kinan Azmeh in New York City. And since then we're inseparable. We've been working together, and somehow we have an amazing language. We understand each other. So I think this is kind of continuation of our feeling about what's happening in our country, in our culture, between Armenian person and Arab person from Syria. So I feel like this is a perfect kind of dialogue between us.
There is Armenians in Syria?
Yes. Armenians, Kurds, Turks, Cherkess. It's a beautiful country. It has this amazing variety of people there.
So basically your past experience is, one is in the arts, drawing, painting, I suppose, and you are into music. So what is your past experience?
We started working together. Well, my name is Kinan Azmeh. I'm a clarinetist. I'm the composer of tonight's music. We've been working together since 2003. We met in New York, and this the second project. The project we presented today was it's called Home Within, and it's basically a collage, let's say, of pieces that we started working on since the beginning of the Syrian revolution. You know, very personal pieces of ours. We decided to have them first, just for ourselves, basically. And then we started releasing them little by little on YouTube. You want to let out. There's so much, feelings and reflections and looking back and also looking forward that we thought like, they had to come out. So the project, this is Home Within. In the second project we did, the first one was Gilgamesh, based on the epic of Gilgamesh, which also coincided with the Iraq War in 2003. Also, we had the same kind of motivation, let's say. What we're trying to say in this project, tonight, well, I guess you have to ask the audiences to see what they really got of it. I personally would like people to start asking questions, start to look into, and maybe just be moved or just, start to reflect on things, because that's what art is about. And it's not about, present. It's not it documents the time, but it's not about giving a formula or a solution or anything. It just art is for the art itself. And this project, like Kevork said, is very much time-based. Time-based in the sense like it's, it's again documenting the time, but also time-based because music is an art form that is expressed through time. While usually visual arts are not bound with time, but the way Kevork thinks as a musician actually. In the sense like time. You see the painting evolve throughout time.
It's amazing. Can you tell me a little bit more about like your technique, how you grew that technique, and you draw so fast and so effective, and things fall down, and very emotional, and I don't know, I cannot explain this.
This thing started in the studio. It was based by accident. I found this pen. Made a line on a piece of paper, and the paper was glossy, and accidentally my fingers smudged it, and I saw this effect that came out of it, which of course you see all this paints here. And since then, what I started thinking about how I can use this technique. And I was in Armenia then. That was 1997. I took a tube and I filled with paint. I was squeezing it, and then I started to feel that my hand muscles were hurting. But I started leaving it alone, using brushes, not thinking about performances. But when I came to the United States, I had a chance to work with dancers, flamenco dancers, some incredible musicians. But when I went to New Orleans for the first time, this is 2000, the year 2000, I felt the musicians on the street, they're giving so much energy. They're the one who painting. I felt they can actually move my hand. So, of course, it's not hard. It's not easy to find the right musician or the right person to work with, because I need to have this dialogue. The idea is about dialogue. It's not about me, myself, making it it has to be somehow the second person, which is a musician, has to somehow move these lines. When I started working with Kinan, I felt this is the perfect combination, because when I make a line, you can see it and make a sound out of it. And somehow this clear dialogue that's happening between us, especially we're from the same country, and now when I show the world, we have things to give, we have things to share, we have things to say in today's language. When people say Syria, they think, oh, it's those small houses and donkeys and some backwards. No, but there's so many amazing artists, musicians, composers, and you can see, and especially now when we're living in New York City, we can contribute at the same level, and as any Western artist to contribute, I feel so proud of it. And especially this time, we have to express ourselves, what's happening in the country, in today's language. And I think this project was a perfect example of how we can communicate with the audience, with our Syrian people, because art also has so many embedded ideas inside, and somehow you can tell our own people what's happening in the country with very few lines. And I think that's why when I paint fast and I follow the time, because my work is about time, it's start to end. It's not about fixing, erasing, making a perfect thing. It's about what happens at the time. I'm not worried about what's coming out.
Can you tell me what
people's judgment,
What was your story tonight? Let's say you were painting, you started something and then the music followed, there was an interaction, then you improvise a percentage, what is the line there? How, or if not, then how did you feel doing things and what?
I much rather talk about the feeling than the story.
Okay,
the story is, I'm a storyteller in my own way, and if I start explaining what I do, it means I am not successful in my own work.
Okay,
so I much rather visualize.
Then you don't need to paint anymore. If you're
Yes,
able
exactly.
to say the story with with the language, then the art is not needed, I guess.
Okay, so how did you feel today painting tonight?
The interesting thing about this kind of work, I'm pretty sure Kinan will say from his point of view, that sometimes I don't like to plan what's happening on the paper.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather open myself from what he's giving and somehow just explode on the paper. So there are things happens there. Basically the music tells me what's happening. When I see the images coming out that way, I'm surprised there. So it means it moves me too. When I get moved while I'm working, it means you have to feel the same feeling. Because if I put everything, detail what's happening there, it dies. It freezes. I want this to be very raw, and you feel the same way I'm feeling, and then we all can go on this journey. So I think the feeling was, for me, I feel very much like you, the way you saw. I was satisfied, because the message, for the first time, we sent to the people, and locals, Canadians, and some people from Syria felt what we were going through in the country.
It was sad, very sad.
Of course, it's sad,
but
it's
still,
unfortunate, but we're showing it
exactly
through our medium.
Yeah. There was an interaction between the music, so and the drawing.
Yeah.
It is always a kind of a collaboration. I always tell Kinan.
We always finish the work half done. Like I write something and then I send it to Kevork, and then Kevork does it and then he adds something to it, which also shifts the way I'm writing. But I want to say something about, you said it's sad. I don't think it's only sad. Sad is an emotional content that actually is restrictive. With this project, we both believe that history moves only forward.
Yeah.
And the act of actually living, even the simplest form of just being alive and doing work and doing art, is resistance also. So I hope that people just didn't feel sad today. That was not the story we wanted to say. It's of course a reflection on sadness, anger, all these things. But also we hope that we feel optimistic, optimistic because we believe that history moves only forward.
Yeah.
And the Syrians are bound to get what they want.
Oh, definitely.
Like people will find the country has changed, of course, and it's every country goes through lots of times until it becomes a safe haven for everybody, and that it's bound to happen.
So are you going to do shows somewhere else? No, not in Quebec, I guess I heard, I think.
We have two things planned for November. We're going to play in Poland, in Gdansk, part of a festival, and then we're going to go to Marseille for the opening of the new museum.
Okay.
Musée des Cultures de la Méditerranée, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And this is what is planned for now, but I'm sure there will be.
Well, you should come back here in Quebec. You're most welcome. You know, frankly,
Thank you. We feel very welcome
sad
here.
that there's only one show and that's it. You know, like you deserve more. You know, and there's a lot of future for guys like you. And I wish you the best luck. And I want that everybody sees my video for that. You know. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.